Hey, squad. Welcome to today's episode of the Squad Podcast. I'm your girl, your coach, Tocha Moore. How are we doing? Hope all is well with you and yours. Hope you're having an amazing start to your day, your week, wherever you are. Let me check in with you before we get started. How are we doing? How are things? Did we reach our goals? Yeah. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Give yourself a big old hug. Because that is what we do over here in this podcast. We celebrate all the things. If you didn't, that's okay. New day, new minute, new moment, new week, new month, wherever you are. New year. Start over. Don't have to be in January. Clap it up, clap it down, however you choose to do it, and reset. Okay? It's okay. It's okay. Girl. Today we're talking about something that I think applies. I know it definitely does to me in so many ways. And so, girl, what do you do when you're in the season and it comes to bear? Y'all, life at moments seems so unfair. And what do we do when you're doing the work, you're praying, you're showing up, you feel like you're taking all the steps towards it, whatever it is, and you have the moments where you're like, this just doesn't seem fair. Maybe you're not as far as you thought you would be. Maybe you're further along than you thought you would be in your business, and your personal life is falling apart, or vice versa. And so, what do you do in those difficult seasons when you feel like I've done everything that I feel like I can do, and this is not working out the way that I thought and or intended? So where do we go from here? Because if you're honest, I know I look at God like, wait a minute, this ain't what I thought it was gonna be. This is not what I feel like you said it would be, right? And it feels heavy, lonely, and confusing. And you're wondering, why does obedience sometimes feel like punishment? Let's talk about it. All right, before I get into it, y'all hit the like, the subscribe, the button, wherever it is. Download the episode of the podcast. Share it with somebody in your world. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the weight of obedience, the weight that comes with obedience. I know for me, it is something that I feel often, and it weighs heavy because I want to do and walk in the things that God has for me. And I also sometimes feel like this ain't it, right? First thing, sometimes obedience hurts. I will give you an example of that. I started a Bible study group, absolutely love the women that showed up. We're growing together, doing it together. And God was like, you gotta leave this group. And it was like, what? Why? Like, I love this group. I love these women. Yes, you do, and they love you. And I've got something else I need you to do. And I was like, then mind you, I had already started another group before. I was leaving that group, got called to do something else. I feel like I'm always doing called to transition. Do anybody else ever feel like that? Are you with me? And so I knew that God was telling me that I had to move from the group. And honestly, I didn't want to. These were my people. I love these women. And he's asking me to do a Bible study group for people that are newly coming to Christ, to be able to talk them through some of the questions that they may have. And that's just the truth. It hurt for me to leave that group. It hurt for me to not be with those ladies and meeting with them every week. It still hurts. I'm still in like the group message. And so I'm like, they're meeting today. And yes, I could pop in. I actually have my new Bible study. It's going to be at the same time as theirs. And so I still communicate with them, but it does still hurt to see that they're doing life together. And I'm still a part of that, just not in the way that I thought. Y'all ever been there? It's happening, just not in the way that you thought it would. Or it's discontinuing, or you've got to move, or you've got to move a city, or move a job, or not talk to a family member, break up a friendship, no longer in that relationship. Being faithful doesn't mean that it will feel fair. Because I'll be honest, that felt unfair. Like, I didn't care about starting the group. Who cares about that? I was just obedient to what God said, but it was just like, these are my people. And so sometimes what God is asking you to do will feel unfair. Maybe you lost a job and it was because of somebody else, or you're not able to do something and you're like, okay, well, why I gotta be the one to move? or why I gotta be the one to quit, or why I gotta be the one to get fired. And so, obedience doesn't always seem fair. Being faithful sometimes feels like, but why? That's I know where I was. Um, and for me, I'm like, I was honest, keep it truthful over here. I was like, I'm tired of being the one that holds it all together and listen, does the things all the time. Why can't it be somebody else? Because it's my assignment. That's why. Because it's your assignment. It can't be somebody else. It has to be you because you are the one for it. And purpose can feel like pressure without grace. It just felt like I'm doing this, and I'm not getting any grace in areas where I feel like I should. It's like, you just got to do it. You got to do it. Know and understand that his plan is always perfect for me, especially in the seasons that I don't understand. That feels so unfair. And I've learned along this journey that those are the times when I'm being built for the next thing that I'm going to have to do. I learned so much from those women. I learned about being a leader and leading a group, and it taught me so much. I'm thankful for it. It was difficult to have to move and transition from that. And I also see the necessity of it. Because the truth is, there were two ladies who were amazing leaders who lead it now. And so I had to move out of the way so they can step into their next yes. So understand sometimes when it feels unfair, it's because there's somebody else that needs to move into that spot. And they're doing an amazing job. And they honestly were already doing it in the group. So where, question, might you being asked to move out of the way so someone else can step up? All right. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it. It did feel absolutely unfair to me in the moments that I knew I was supposed to move. And now I understand why. And maybe you won't understand why immediately because I didn't. But as I watched women talking to them and after groups staying with them, I understood. I had already known. I was like, you gotta stay, you gotta move. And it was like, I want to move. I like this group. And I realized, like, oh, it's not about me. It's about what you want done. And just what you need and want to do it. All right, so what do unfair seasons do to us? Y'all, I know for me, makes me feel like I got it wrong sometimes. Doubt creeps in. Like, maybe he didn't tell me to do that. Maybe I just moved on my own and knowing full well, no, this is what I was supposed to do. Conversations with people, all the things aligned, and it still won't make me doubt if I did the right thing. Anybody else with me? I raise my hands on that. It feels like comparison takes root. I start looking at everyone else. Well, how come no one else has to switch? How come no one else has to do this? Why am I always the one? Why? You start comparing yourself to what everyone else has going on. You've been doing all the work for years and you're watching other coaches come up or whatever other people, I'm saying coach, real estate agents, whatever, because that's who I am. And then you're like, I've been doing this for a long time. How come? What? Don't do that, yo. That's what it looks like. It looks like a disconnect from God and sometimes yourself. I beat myself up. Like, you weren't supposed to do that anyway. Why'd you do this? What'd you do? You're supposed to be being punished, all the things. Um, and it looks like silent resentment for the blessings of other people. You don't say nothing, but you definitely think it. And you probably get home and sit in the pocket of it. That's me sometimes. Growing in that area so much, and I'm so proud of how I'm like, it's their season. And it's mine too. Just looks different. Okay. And so, what we have to be careful of is that we don't let the doubt creep in, that we don't let the comparison take root, that we don't disconnect from God and or yourself, and that you don't sit in silent resentment and let it build. We have to be so careful of that because it happens, whether we intended to, whether we intended for it to or not. it does happen. And so we have to be careful. The scripture I wanted to read was Corinthians 4:17. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory. Eternal glory, y'all. That's the goal. For the light and momentary trouble, for the moments that feel so unfair in life, it is building you into the person that will reign in eternal glory. We got girls over here, okay? All right? And so 2 Corinthians 4:17. How do you stay faithful when it feels unfair? Be honest with God. He already knows. I'd be like, I don't want to do that. That's how I talk to him. Give me something else to do. And why do I have to move? I just got good with the group. Why do I have to be the one to move? Why can't somebody else do it? I'm honest with how I feel. Like, I don't like this, and this is unfair. That's how I say. Zoom out. Zoom out. What do you mean? This is a chapter. It's not the whole story. Zoom out. It's a chapter, not the whole story. It's but a moment in the beautiful book of your life that has been written. And I know sometimes it feels like it's the whole book. Zoom out. It's a chapter in the book. Okay. And then one thing I want to challenge you to do is write down what the season is teaching you. What are you learning? Maybe you feel like nothing is wasted, y'all. Everything you go through and deal with, God is showing you something. Even in the seasons that you feel are bad, you're learning something. I promise you are. Okay? I want to remind you. I want to remind you, you are not being punished. You are being positioned. Did y'all hear that? You're not being punished. You're being positioned. Looking back on the moves I've had to make, it was so intentional by him. And I didn't understand them all. I absolutely didn't. Like when I lost my partner, I absolutely did not understand that. Like what? He was teaching me that I was relying on my own strength to do things. I was not relying on him. And I know people are going to say, well, that's a horrible way to teach. It's what I needed, though. I'm the type of person that got to hit the wall. And then I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not, the gentle reminders. Your girl don't always get those, okay? He has to let me hit that wall. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm awake. Because the gentle, okay, girl, don't do that. I don't listen to those. And so he has to let me hit the wall. And then I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. I understand that. I get it. That's me. The process is yours, right? All right. And so choose purpose over pity. We can sit and we can have a pity party all day long if we choose to. Or we can understand and know that everything we're going through and dealing with is a part of our purpose. It's all aligning with what he has for us, who we're meant to be, who we're becoming. And so I've learned that the pity parties are just what they are. And it's a moment for me to have a moment, but I have to get up from that moment. And I can just walk around like, oh, what was me? Or I can walk around saying, this is me being built and reconstructed, and changing lives, not just my own. Realizing that I'm passing through, not stuck, if I choose not to be. And so in the seasons that don't feel good, I want to encourage you to pick yourself up and know you're just passing through. One of the things that I said going through some of the most difficult things in my life was this is my right now. It's not my forever and always. Write it down. It's my right now. It's not my forever and always. And I said that to myself every day with tears in my eyes most of the days when I felt like I wanted to end my life. This is my right now. It's not forever and always. Just because it seems unfair doesn't mean it isn't forming you. You don't have to like it to live through it. Write down what it's teaching you. Y'all, you're not being punished. You're absolutely being positioned. You're being reconstructed and redesigned because we are always becoming and fighting for the best version of us. Y'all, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope that this episode resonates with you. And I want you to understand more than anything else that the difficult seasons are hard and they're also making, they're building, they're breaking and building. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Share this with your squad. Don't forget to download this episode. Y'all have an amazing week. I can't wait to be with y'all next week. I'll see y'all later. Bye.